I promise you I'm going to piss you off with this one. I'm going to share my opinion on this Charlie Kirk situation, Charlie Kirk things. We was traveling this weekend. I heard the news literally as we were about to get on a flight to Portugal last week, Wednesday. So I've been out of town on leave and haven't really had a chance to say my piece and things like that. I guarantee you I got smoke for everyone in this because it's just, this is like watching the discourse and watching comments and watching things that are happening. It is sad for humanity. It's sad for this country. It's sad for the world. And I think more ascended voices should be heard out of the muck and the negativity and the low vibration. Don't mind me. I'm overcoming a cold. I probably picked something up, so I'm trying to sweat it out. That's why I got a hat and a jacket on. But first things first, most importantly, obviously it goes without saying, what happened to CK? I'm gonna call him CK because I don't want to keep saying Charlie Kirk. What happened to CK was horrible, demonic, violent, public execution, all the bad things, right? We know the bad things. It's a horrible thing. And it was traumatizing. When I heard the news and I knew there was a video circulating, I heard about there was a video, I did everything in my power to not see it, not catch it. So much to the point where I was even, I wasn't scrolling on certain platforms where I know it was going to be at, which is known for. And I was only able to do that for 24 hours, right? 24 hours. I minimized scrolling and things. I was watching stuff on the news and all that, while I was traveling or whatever. But it only took 24 hours for me to catch it by accident, straight to the point. Video started. To be honest, I didn't even know that was the video because I didn't know what he was wearing. I didn't know the environment. I didn't know anything. I didn't know that was the video. So when it hit the screen and it just automatically played, it was literally a split second before the shot and the blood, and so there was nothing I could do. I was, and I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it was an eventuality. I thought I could wait a few days, but it was literally maybe 16, 17, 18 hours. Unavoidable, right? If you got a phone and you're scrolling on these different platforms and you're doing content and all that, it was unavoidable. So there's that. Traumatic public execution for the world to see. No matter where you stand on liking him, not liking him, you saw that shit, and you most likely saw it within the first couple of days that it happened. So that's that. So what I want to get to, what I want to talk about, what I want to scold people on is the reactions, and is the reactions to the reactions. Basically, what I'm talking about is energy, your energy, how you react to things, the things you focus on, the things you are unhappy about. Now, of course, I'm a person on the outside looking in. I knew about Charlie Kirk. I seen some things that I agree with, and I seen some things that I didn't agree with. But I wasn't I wasn't ever a die-hard fan or like a worshiper of him, But I didn't know he was a controversial figure, and he said things that a lot of people didn't like. And I'm saying that to say I am on the outside looking in. I didn't hate him. I didn't hate his guts. But I didn't love him either. So with that being said, I understand that there's levels to participating or being emotionally invested in this person, in CK, right? So obviously if you were a fan and you loved them and you watched all this debates and you worshipped him, or you followed him, or you see him in person, or you asked him a question, or obviously it's going to hit you harder if you loved him. And then if you didn't like him, if you followed him and hated everything he said, and this happening, you rejoiced, unfortunately, and that's an emotional response. I don't think it's right for those people that have been rejoicing and celebrating this public execution with zero remorse. I think there's some real deep soul searching you have to conduct on yourself for your own sake, for your own soul. But again, I understand coming from an emotional stance why you would feel that way, because you have an understanding of this person, that he was such an evil person. And so I understand that part. But there is a level of humanity that should be considered when horrible things happen to people, regardless of how you personally feel about them. Right? I don't wish death on anybody. I've had very few enemies in my life. And even the handful, not even, on one hand, the enemies I've had in my life or whatever, I don't wish death on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, even personal enemies. I'm mature enough to say that I've never had anybody in my life gunned down in a violent public way. So I can't speak for his family, his friends, his people that love them very much. You know, I'm sure there's a very strong emotional expression happening there. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating someone's death is wrong, and you should take a really good look at who you are as a person, your values and things like that, and try to find some type of neutrality or neutral stance on things that are so emotionally charged. Now, with that being said, since Charlie was murdered and people have been rejoicing and posting their celebration, there has been backlash towards these people from Charlie supporters. And they have been doxing and getting these people fired, finding out where they work, where they live, contacting their jobs, and essentially getting them fired. And any way you cut it, it is revenge. It's an act of revenge. And that needs to be looked at. You need to look at yourself if you're out there expending energy to do that as well. You know, coming across someone's celebratory video, feeling angry enough to want to hurt them back. Somebody you don't, more than likely you don't know, you've never seen before in your life, and you will never meet, you'll never walk past in the street, coming across a video, finding somebody who's celebrating and going out of your way to expend the energy to get them fired or affect them in some type of way to ruin their life or hurt them back, right? That takes energy. It takes low vibration. Revenge and vengeance are low vibrational things. And for you as well, if you're out there doing that, you should probably look into your own spiritual status and monitor yourself in that way. But again, you know, when you talk about these things, I understand, you know, wanting revenge, wanting to get back, wanting to hurt somebody that hurt you. These people that are celebrating and they are hurting people that love Charlie. In retrospect, the people are celebrating because they feel that Charlie's words hurt them. What we have is a back and forth of an ebbs and flows of hurt people hurting people. And it just continues and continues, and it's just a circle, and it goes round and round and round. And it takes a strong person to stop, pause, assess the situation, assess their emotions, assess what's going on in the world, and make a conscious decision to stop and to not keep that hateful energy flowing. And I'm not perfect. I know there's things I need to work on as a person. Every day I'm trying to be a better person. I've been in situations, more so recently, where I wanted revenge on particular people for certain things. And I had to sit myself down and assess and ponder potential consequences, ponder potential outcomes of going out of my way and seeking revenge for things. And ultimately what I came up to was leave it alone. Walk away. Don't think about it. Don't act out on being vengeful, wanting revenge, wanting to go out and hurt somebody that hurt me. And I'm not tooting my own horn with that, but I'm just saying there's a spiritual, there is virtue in doing something like that, assessing yourself in a moment where you may feel extremely justified in doing something to someone that hurt you. You may feel like there's no recourse but to do that thing, and then feel like not only are you justified, but you have to do it to feel better. Assess yourself. Now, and I'm speaking to the people who are, I saw a post about somebody building a database and listing a bunch of accounts and where they work and like going out of their way just to publicly, or not public, but get these people fired who put out celebratory videos about what happened to CK. And that's wrong too. And what we're not going to do, I'm not saying which is more wrong, right? I'm not going to compare getting shot to losing your job. There's no comparison there, right? Getting murdered is extremely more worse and horrible than losing your job. You lose your job, you're still alive, you can get another job, you can recover. Obviously, you can't recover from losing your life in a violent way. So these aren't comparisons to what happened. But I'm saying using your energy to go find somebody and take their job because they said something that you didn't like is keeping that hateful rhetoric alive. And karmatically, it will come back to you. I promise you. It always does. You could look at what's happening now. Now, Charlie did not deserve what happened to him. Hands down, full stop. Didn't deserve it. And I'm not defending anything he said or praising anything he said. He didn't deserve it. But there are people that feel that he did, which is why they are celebrating. And to those people, when that thing happened, they celebrated, then they lost their job. That's karma immediately coming back for you. That's what I'm saying. But at the same time, for the people that are going out getting these people fired, it's going to come back around. This is where it comes to like being so spiritually aware and mature, where no matter how you're feeling emotionally, if somebody does something to you and you have that urge to seek revenge or to hurt them back, it's emotionally mature to not do that, because you understand how karma works. You understand it will come back to you. And not only that, you understand continuing the flow of pain and hurt and hurting somebody that hurt you isn't the answer, and it doesn't actually save you or make you feel better or rectify the situation. It just keeps the shit going. This is a sort of kumbaya video. I'll put it out there. This is a kumbaya video. This is a neutral video. I am looking at the situation from the top down as best as I can, although I'm also here on this physical reality with everyone here sharing the same matrix reality. This is how I interpret things, how I'm looking at things. I think people should take lessons from this. I would hope that people would take lessons from all of this, right? Charlie Kirk knew the things he was saying was pissing people off. He knew that. He toured college campuses. He spoke with people. I praise him for being brave to sit face to face with people and have dialogue. That takes bravery. But he very well knew the things he was saying was being perceived as hateful on the other side. And he did his best to state his reasons and his justifications and debate. And I'll be honest, when it comes to internet and clips, depending who you are, who's clipping it, you can make somebody sound like they're saying anything, right? Someone could take clips of this video that I'm speaking to you right now. It's a long format video, but you could take clips from this and make me seem like I'm a supporter, or I'm praising the death and all these things. Like, it's crazy how things taken out of context can seem to go a certain way. A lot of the videos that were put out about Charlie Kirk did make him seem to be a certain type. They'll cut it off before he finishes his explanation or his reasoning or whatever, so they don't give you the full picture. And that's what everyone should, like, just relax, calm down, and look at this from a full picture, because when you just have narrow pieces of information and narrow perspective, that's where you get things wrong and you don't see the whole picture, right? So again, I'm saying that to say I didn't agree with everything Charlie said. There were some things he said, even with the context, that sounded crazy, right? That you think back and like, I wouldn't have said that. I don't think like that. But that's neither here or there. Most of what I've seen people continue to share about him have been things taken out of context. Most. And here now and there, there's a full thing, like a full thought out video where it's full context from beginning, middle, and end, where you get the full picture. And again, you can still disagree with it, but at least you're getting the full picture. Most of what people understand about him has been taken out of context. I concede that. That is a fact. You can hate me for saying that. You can hate me for thinking that, whatever the case have you. But again, most of the things that has been clipped and put out there has been taken out of context. Well, with that being said, he knew what he was saying was pissing people off, and a lot of people disliked him for that. But he kept going on, right? He kept doing his debates. He kept going out there, saying how he felt. He kept doing all the things. Does that mean he deserved to lose his life? No. And that's what I'm getting at. That's the whole purpose of what I'm saying. He didn't deserve what happened to him. No matter how you feel about what he said, he didn't deserve it. Freedom of speech does not mean you should lose your life. And there's this whole rhetoric of everyone has freedom of speech, but you should have freedom of consequences. I feel like I disagree with that, because it's cherry picked and used on certain situations and not. So the left used to say that all the time in regards to his content and all these things, and now the right is saying it about the left for the ones that are losing their jobs and getting doxxed. So you see, it's all circular. This shit just goes around. Nobody's choosing to stop, and it's going to come back around, and it just ebbs and flows, and it goes like this. So this is what I suggest for people that are online getting upset and charged up about people celebrating. Turn it off. Don't watch those clips. Block the person. Stop the video. Going out of your way to do research and find the person and find where they live and find their name and get them fired. That takes a lot of energy that, again, will come back on you. It does, I promise you. For the people who are celebrating, or a lot of them are being dealt with now, unfortunately. They're being sought out. They put their video up, they're trying to delete it, but it's already done. Karma's going to handle them the way Karma wants to handle them. But for anyone else who didn't like Charlie, you don't have to speak on his assassination. Even if on the inside, for whatever reason you feel he deserved it, you don't have to put your face and your likeness out there and praise that. That energy will come back to you, right? But again, so that's my spiel on this whole Charlie Kirk stuff. I told you, I'm going to piss both of you guys off. I'm pissing both sides off. I feel like the entire thing is ridiculous. I think what happened to him is ridiculous. I think the reactions is ridiculous. And I think the reactions to the reactions is ridiculous. And who knows where it's going to go from there, right? It's just sad to see what's happening. It was sad to be thrust into a reality where, we saw that public execution. We had the Trump one last year. That worked out, right? He didn't die, which is a good thing. No matter how you feel about Trump, that was a good thing that he didn't get killed live on TV. Assassinations are public executions. And they're never warranted. Praising someone's death should not be warranted either. Find your spirituality. Look within yourself. Dig deep. Reflect, self-reflect, have some self-awareness. And just be more aware of where you stand spiritually, with people, with your neighbor. You don't have to agree. You don't have to believe the same things. But the very last thing you should be doing is wishing death on a person or wishing revenge on a person. That's my rant. I'm out.